Hello, hello, and welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is April. If this is a return trip for you, welcome back. Plug in my books. If you enjoy the humor on my channel, you might enjoy the books that I wrote about myself. They're pretty quirky, they're fun, they're mostly true. And yeah, if you're interested, the link is down below. So I'm back in my spiral notebook for June. Remember, the goal is to fill this notebook front cover to back cover. I did have a couple of extra things that I wanted to add to the monthly calendar, just to show you different ways that you can decorate. And I'm just using the 3 colors of the world markers that I had picked out originally to go with this theme. And I'm drawing U shapes and coloring them in, random circles. And they're not perfect circles by any means. And then coloring them in. I would almost say they're scribble circles. That one almost looked like a piece of toast, but we made it into kind of a U or a V shape. Going in with the lighter color, doing the same thing. Smaller dots, bigger dots, and then that U or V shape. That U or V shape is going to turn into what I like to refer to as either a rose or, I don't know, maybe a tulip. Maybe a tulip before it opens. Pretty much a rose. And then I'm taking the darkest color and making leaves and just filling those in. It is really, really easy, and the final product just adds a lot to the page. And I know when I was looking at the monthly layout, I was like, it's pretty quiet. There's nothing really standing out on the page or, anything like that. So I thought I would show you how to do some really fun doodles while filling up the page with some, what do we call it? Visual texture. Yes. I think I got a spider bite last night too on my knee. It's itchy. It's a tad bit itchy. I had planned on getting up really early this morning and getting things done, and that did not happen. I got up at like 6:40. It's now 6:47. And I'm doing voiceover. It's fine. Everything's fine. Les is still sleeping, so I'm trying to be somewhat quiet. Okay, see how on these ones I go around it and then just do a swirl at the top? That gives it kind of that closed rose look. And then on one of them I did a spiral. That one's like clouds, if you make a cloud. But you just keep making it bigger and not close it until the very end. And then I'm outlining the leaves and just putting a straight line down the middle of the leaves. Another squiggle, another squiggle, another squiggle. Couple leaves. And you don't have to outline these perfect. The less perfect they are, the better they look, I think. And in that amount of time, look how much decoration we added to that page. You could even use this with your card making and your scrapbooking. Just so much fun and adds so much to it. I wasn't going to continue over to the next page, but then I'm like, oh, we could put a few over here. Like, that was quick. Pop some leaves. Boop. Bop. And bada bing. And there we have the leaves. And now we're going to just go in with the pen. Do some squiggles. And see how I'm going outside the marker? That's what gives it kind of that doodle feel. I like that. We already outlined June, so I didn't need to do that. Oh, got the spiral going on there. And another squiggle there. Outline those leaves. Perfect. Imperfectly perfect. That is how last week turned out. Not too shabby. And now we're ready to set up this week. This week I'm going to be doing an hourly horizontal. So along this side here, I am going to be marking off where I'm going to put the dates and the days of the week. As I yawn, sorry. Hope I didn't make you yawn. I know how they can be contagious. So I'm just measuring across the width of this ruler, and I know this ruler is no longer available. It is one of my favorites. I don't know why they don't sell it anymore. The width of it is just perfect for setting up in a spiral notebook. Oops. It happens. It's okay. It's a spiral notebook. We haven't heard anything. Now we're going to count our rows and then divide by 7. Because our days of the week are going to go down the sidebar. And then divide however many that was by 7, and it'll tell you how many rows you can have. And I believe I came up with 4 rows per day of the week. Oh no, 3. 3? That was 4. Oh, there's me tapping on my desk, thinking about it. Oh, I'm grabbing my pen gems. It's a ballpoint pen. I think I'm hoping here that it will not smear or smudge. It is 4. All right, so each one will have 4 columns, or 4 rows, sorry, 4 rows in there. It's not quite a square, it is definitely a rectangle, and I have 4 left over at the end of this layout. I'm sorry, 4 rows at the very bottom, and I actually used it. Sometimes I'll just decorate it and fill in those spots, but this week I decided I was going to use it. And I did 2-hour time block periods when I separated out the time. If your day starts at 4 and goes past 8 p.m., 4 a.m. to 8 a.m., you can do 3 hours instead of 4, or 2 to start over. Doodly-doo. Another cup of coffee. Rather than doing just 2-hour blocks, you could do 3 or 4-hour blocks, and that would put you later in the day. Or if you don't get up at 4. I always put down that I get up at 4, and I'm lucky if I get up by 5:30. I'll be honest with you. I think in a perfect world, me wants to wake up at 4 and be up by 4:30. But that girl, she's not here. I'm telling you, she's not here. I'm going to go in with the darkest Crayola marker. So I've got my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And see how I have that extra row left, that extra column left? I will use it. And then pop it in the dates. The 8th, the 9th, the 10th, and then 11, 12, 13, and 14. And then I'm going to go on to the top. And right now I'm figuring out, so 2 to 4, or 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12. And I thought I was going to be able to go to like 10, but that didn't happen. And I had to use the extra row at the end that I normally use for this week, which is why I used it at the bottom. Because I was like, oh, fiddle faddle. Otherwise, this would have only gone to 4 in the afternoon. And I definitely do things after 4 in the afternoon. See, I stopped and I was like, oh, do I go to 8? Do I do 2, 4, 2, 4, 8? Then I'm like, no, just use that last column. We'll make it work. But the last one is from 4 to 8, so it's a 4-hour block. Which is also fine because it's the evening time after I get home. So I don't do a whole lot. I make dinner, Wes makes dinner, we clean up, we walk, and then we relax. So it's fine that I don't have like a big block in there. I don't know what I'm contemplating. That is one thing about doing the voiceover. I never quite know what I was thinking at the time. Then I'm like, oh, okay, well, here we go. And then the rest of this is just filling in my schedule for the week. Easy peasy, pen to paper. All right, I need to, since I got up late, I need to run and hop in the shower and get ready for work and pack my lunch so that I'm taking something healthy. I will add some music at the end of this so that it's not too boring to watch me write. And if you have any questions about the layout or what I do, please feel free to comment. I'd love a follow, subscribe. My favorite though is meeting you down in the comments. So I hope you have an amazing week. I love you and I will talk to you soon. Okay. Bye.